Foot. 27 missed games. Career low field goal attempts. The lowest scoring average since his rookie season in 2003. A three-star lineup that produces a minus 8.4 net rating per 100 possessions. An owner who privately called his ego outsized for 8 years. An agent who went on social media and could not finish a sentence defending him. And Rich Paul needed a poster dunk over Jabari Smith Jr. to change the subject. That is the only way to understand what happened at Toyota Center on March 16th. Not as a statement of relevance, not as proof that the king still reigns, as a subject change, a distraction. The most viral possible moment deployed at the most necessary possible time to redirect a basketball world that had spent 3 days talking about an unfinished sentence on social media and a 9-2 record that Rich Paul called nonsense and could not explain away.
As I mentioned, his cold shooting. He is over. Second team! Throw it down, LeBron! Throw it down!
Wow, that could have been an and one. Maybe it should have been an and one.
LeBron dunked. Jabari nodded. The internet celebrated. Rich Paul exhaled. And then, Luka Dončić scored 36 points and won the game. And the subject changed back.
But you hear all the nonsense about the team being better without LeBron. I've never seen a team in my life that would be better without LeBron James.
Till this one this year, until recently.
And you also have to you have to understand.
He could not finish it. Rich Paul, the most powerful agent in professional basketball, the CEO of Clutch Sports, the man who has been operating as a shadow front office inside the Los Angeles Lakers organization for 8 years, while Jeanie privately grumbled about outsized ego and overt control. The man whose client just threw down a first-quarter poster dunk on a 23-year-old and needed the celebration to last longer than 4 minutes. Went on social media, called 9-2 nonsense, started a sentence, stopped. Most guys who step on the floor with LeBron, what, win more games? The official NBA data says the Lakers are 9-2 this season, specifically when Luka Dončić and Austin Reeves play together without LeBron James on the floor. 13-7 overall without him, 28-18 with him. The three-star lineup minus 8.4 net rating. The Luka Reeves two-man game plus 23.3. Rich Paul called the 9-2 record nonsense with a sentence that has no ending, because the ending does not exist, because the number cannot be argued with, because Brian Windhorst said on ESPN's First Take that the Lakers are a better team without LeBron James, because J.J. Redick said at a press conference that there is a clear pecking order when Luka and AR play with low-usage players, and it has not been as clean with LeBron involved, because the scoreboard keeps finishing the sentence that Rich Paul cannot. The poster dunk was deployed to change the subject. Luka's 36 points changed it back.
It's my understanding this has been festering for some time. If you go back to when LeBron joined the Lakers in 2018 through free agency, I was told that there was private grumbling from Jeanie about the way it was framed that LeBron was saving a floundering franchise when he joined, rather than him choosing to come there because it was a great front office and it was their kind of brilliance that they brought in there. Fast forward in some years, I heard about grumbling about at times his outsized ego or Clutch Sports, the agency that represents him, their control.
Outsized ego, overt control. From the owner. Not from Skip Bayless. Not from Byron Scott on Power 106. From the woman who owns the building, who has watched Rich Paul's Clutch Sports operation represent both LeBron and Anthony Davis simultaneously inside her franchise, creating a conflict of interest so obvious and so undisguised that even the NBA's own tampering investigation acknowledged it implicitly when the league fined the Lakers for the Anthony Davis recruitment process. She did not like being told her franchise was saved by a player who chose them, rather than a franchise whose leadership earned the player they were given credit for landing. Jeanie privately grumbled about that distinction for 8 years. She watched the outsized ego operate. She watched the overt control shape roster decisions in ways that produced a Russell Westbrook trade that cost 3 first-round picks and a 33-49 record and a missed playoff season. She watched the Bronny gesture get absorbed without gratitude. She watched the Clippers' trade consideration get floated and then publicly denied. And on March 16th, Rich Paul went on social media to call the 9-2 record nonsense, while the owner, who privately grumbled for 8 years, was preparing for the summer that NBC Sports described as widely expected in league circles. The summer when the outsized ego and the overt control and the shadow front office operation all expire simultaneously with the $52.6 million contract. The poster dunk did not change any of that. Jabari's nod did not reverse any of that. The viral celebration did not reach the private conversations that became public reporting that became the most damaging internal exposé of the LeBron era in Los Angeles.
And they had a timely LeBron injury, as weird as that sounds. He only left for a couple games. It reset the calibration, and he came back, and it's been interesting to watch him reinvent himself as this basically third option. Can I rebound, make some hustle plays? He made a great diving.
Bill Simmons said, "The team thrives when he sits." What? The team thrives when he sits? Bill Simmons said that. Not the 9-2 record said it. Not the plus 23.3 net rating said it. Not the 121.8 offensive rating and the 108.1 defensive rating in his absence said it. Bill Simmons. Looking at all of it and landing on the most direct possible summary. The team thrives when he sits. And then LeBron came back against the Bulls and scored 18 points. And then he dove against the Nuggets for the first time in 26 years and produced a grotesque floor burn. And then he dunked on Jabari Smith Jr. at Toyota Center and stared him down and made him nod. And Luka Dončić scored 36 points, and the Lakers won their 6th straight and moved to 42-25 and 3rd in the Western Conference. The team also thrives when he plays. Sometimes. On nights when Luka scores 36 and the Rockets turn the ball over 24 times, and the opponent has not prepared specifically for the defensive vulnerabilities that a 41-year-old second slowest player in the entire league creates in every half-court defensive possession. But the 9-2 record without him is not about sometimes. It is about always. Every single time Luka and Austin Reeves share the floor without LeBron James this season, the Lakers have produced a net rating of plus 23.3. Every single time. Rich Paul called it nonsense. Bill Simmons called it, "The team thrives when he sits." The 9-2 record called it something that cannot be unsaid with a poster dunk, or an unfinished sentence, or a Jabari Smith Jr. nod.
I don't like his not a little bit. You do not understand the lengths this man would go to. This dates back more than a decade. I believe he's one way publicly, he's another way privately. You know, he might not be interviewed and he might not be quoted, but the things he says and the things he has said to people, it's gotten back to me. The things that he's tried to do, if it were up to him, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's some low today.
The most prominent sports media personality in America said that about LeBron James on a podcast, with Carmelo Anthony sitting next to him watching the words land. An effort to hurt me, an effort to do damage to me professionally. Those things I know to be true, said on Gil's Arena in March 2025. Confirmed on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Said with the specific rawness of a man who spent years managing the information carefully and then decided the relationship was broken enough that the careful management could end. Michelle Beadle said the same thing years earlier. The same pattern, the same mechanism, the same outsized ego that Jeanie Buss documented to people inside her organization, who documented it to ESPN's Baxter Holmes, who published it in January 2026. One pattern, multiple victims, multiple platforms, multiple years. And a poster dunk on March 16th deployed as the most viral possible subject change at the most necessary possible moment. The dunk traveled faster than the pattern. It always does. That is the specific genius of 23 years of narrative management. The moment arrives, the internet celebrates, the subject changes. And then Luka scores 36, and the subject changes back. In 2022, in the aftermath of the Westbrook trade, Multiple people said Jeanie privately mused about not giving James a contract extension, and, later that year, even about trading James, with the LA Clippers floated as a possibility. The Los Angeles Clippers. While LeBron James was in the building, Jeanie Buss was floating his trade to the crosstown rival, the most humiliating destination, the team that shares the arena, the franchise whose very presence in the same market is the Lakers' most sensitive organizational nerve. She was going to send him there. After the Westbrook disaster, after the overt control produced its most publicly catastrophic result, after 3 first-round picks and 2 years of relevance were surrendered to accommodate a roster preference that made a former scout's eyes hurt. She floated it, then gave him the extension, then watched the brawny gesture produce no gratitude, then grumbled to people who told ESPN, then publicly denied it in a statement calling it family drama, then watched Rich Paul post an unfinished sentence on the day LeBron dunked on Jabari Smith Jr., and NBC Sports said, "It is widely expected this summer." League circles. Not speculation, expectation. The Clippers trade that was floated in 2022 replaced by a clean exit in 2026 that nobody inside the building is going to publicly describe as anything other than a mutual decision made with the utmost respect and honor and dignity. Still, in all capitals, on Instagram, while the owner was planning the quiet goodbye. Here is the complete picture that March 16th assembled. LeBron James was supposed to still be hurt. The arthritic foot. The grotesque floor burn from the Nuggets dive. The body that JJ Redick said you never know how it will respond, and sometimes day-to-day means 5 or 6 days. The body that has missed 27 games this season, that has been involved in 4 separate injury designations since October. That body went to Houston, dunked on Jabari Smith Jr., stared him down, made him nod, went viral immediately. Rich Paul's unfinished sentence from earlier that day suddenly had a poster dunk attached to it as the unofficial completion. Most guys who step on the floor with LeBron see something like that. And then, Luka Dončić scored 16 points in the first quarter before LeBron had his second basket. The Lakers trailed at halftime. Luka finished with 36. The Rockets turned the ball over 24 times. The Lakers won their 6th straight by 8 points. LeBron finished with 18 points. Luka won the game. The poster went viral for 4 minutes. Luka's 36 points were the story for the rest of the night. That ratio. 4 minutes of LeBron narrative versus a full game of Luka narrative. Is the 2025-26 Los Angeles Lakers season in a single Monday night? Jabari nodded. The scoreboard did not. The outsized ego is documented. The overt control is documented. The Clippers trade is documented. The brawny ingratitude is documented. The unfinished sentence is sitting on social media without a period. The widely expected summer split is being described by league sources to national reporters. And LeBron James dunked on a 23-year-old, and the basketball world needed 4 minutes of celebration before Luka Dončić reminded everyone what the permanent story of this franchise actually looks like. 36 points, 6th straight win, 3rd in the West, 42-25. Rich Paul still has not finished his sentence. Drop a comment right now. Does the fact that Luka immediately stole the story back with 36 points after LeBron's poster dunk tell you everything about who this franchise already belongs to? And does Rich Paul's unfinished sentence on the same night hit differently, knowing the owner privately wanted to trade LeBron to the Clippers in 2022? Hit that like button. Subscribe. The dunk was real. Jabari nodded. And then Luka scored 36 and won the game, and the subject changed back to where it has been all season. Rich Paul cannot finish the sentence. The scoreboard already has.